Are you ready to take bold action and live a life of brilliance? Welcome to the Bold and Brilliant podcast, where women leaders share inspiring stories about daring decisions that shape their businesses, their lives, and their careers. Today, I'm with the fabulous and amazing Anna Hanael. Anna is a speaker, mentor, coach, healer, and certified hypnotherapist who helps empaths, intuitives, and entrepreneurs stop people-pleasing, trust themselves, and choose themselves first. With over 25 years of experience in energy work and 14 years as a hypnotherapist, Anna blends subconscious reprogramming, energy healing, and spiritual guidance to help clients break patterns at the root. Her work empowers people to build self-worth, confidence, clear communication, and the courage to live and lead from their true power. As we talk, you'll hear Anna share her journey of entrepreneurship, including one bold decision that created her path of what was next. Her story of resilience, risk-taking, and transformation will inspire, encourage, and support your personal and professional growth. Please join me in welcoming Anna to the Bold and Brilliant podcast. Anna, I am so excited to have you on the podcast. Welcome.
Thank you, Tracie, for inviting me. I am so excited. I love your Gator community, and I'm thankful to be here. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, I am really excited because, we met, I'll say a year and a half ago, I think first, something like that. And I instantly was attracted to your energy. And I love the work that you do. I connect easily with everyone who's doing hypnotherapy, energy work, et cetera. And I think it's because of the energy you put off as a healer in the world. That is something that I, like to be around. So I was instantly drawn to you, but we haven't had a chance to really talk about your full story. And I thought, what better idea than to bring you on the podcast and share it not only with me, but with the listeners who are listening to the podcast. So I'm excited to dive in. Are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Fantastic. Okay. So what I would love to start is to get an understanding of kind of your origin story. Like, I know now that you're working in hypnotherapy and energy work and things like that, but we don't often at our ages do the things now that we did long ago. So like, how did you get here? Tell me a little bit about the journey that brought you from being a young Anna to where you are today.
I am going to start with saying that I was born and raised in communist system in Poland. It's massively different. That was a time when scarcity was a norm, and we were taught to keep quiet. Also, the better you perform, the more rewards the family will get. So the responsibility was there. And ironically, the whole system created the need of performing and pleasing and overachieving and doing. Also, I was born very much energetically open. So I have lots of friends around me, invisible ones, and I love to gather rocks. So it's interesting that it was different. So every weekend we will go to the forest to pick mushrooms or berries or just to have a picnic. That was our weekend relaxation. And I love to gather rocks, not the pretty crystals we're buying today. I will pick up rocks and felt the need of them being at home. So outside of the whole system in school that you have to be quiet and obey, you cannot speak up, and you're supposed to not to have opinion. Also at home, I was told that this is weird and negative and bad. So everything contributing to me shutting down.
Yeah. So you had to keep it all inside, not let it be seen. And did you feel then, like, if people were telling you you were weird, did you decide that you were also weird, or did you know that you were just different and you just couldn't tell anyone?
I actually felt I'm different. And then they initially children don't feel that, so I didn't feel that. But when my grandma or my mom were saying, whatever you hear, it's evil, it's bad, it's just be careful, or the rocks, you are weird, then we just losing the compass, internal compass guiding us, and we just begin to perform to be accepted. So I'm not going to complain about my childhood, because there was a good things happening there, but I was definitely raised to keep quiet, to forget who you are, and just perform and deliver.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Did you have a big family? Was it like, did you have siblings, or did you have any?
I don't have a big family. My parents are gone, so I'm not going back. And my life actually took me out of Poland. So I fell in love and across the ocean, which is United States.
Yeah.
And there was no keeping the long distance relationship through the ocean. It's 9 hours difference. So I move here, but I move as that person who always knows how to run the business, how to perform, how to be successful, completely forgotten who I am inside.
What kind of business were you doing in Poland before you came here?
I had a CPA office.
Okay.
And was actually extremely successful, because I opened right after the Berlin Wall went down. So yes, I lived through
A
martial
lot
law.
of opportunity happening then.
Yes. So my generation, we were quitting the universities and colleges because there were new opportunities opening up, and we can open new companies, leasings, banks. And I had CPA office for new accountings. So I was teaching people how to open their own business, how to be independent contractor, how to pay taxes for that. And honestly, Tracie, I was very successful.
Yeah, I bet. I can imagine that. I mean, we've heard here in the States, right? You hear about how the transformation just is like a explosion, right? It was so huge. Same thing happened when the USSR fell, and like same thing in Russia, right? So, we've seen it from far away. So I can imagine being in it. It must have been an incredible time. But you ended up leaving. How long after that did you come here to the States, fall in love, and move here?
So I was 26 when I moved here. I opened my first company when I was 19, and I was very successful. So from business perspective, I was like, why am I moving? Why am I dropping everything? I was number one in my town. Everybody knew me. I wasn't married, so that was a problem, because the society was thinking there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
And I fell in love, and was, if not that feeling, I will probably never leave the country. But love can change us and move us and put our life upside down. So I sold the company, I sold everything, and I moved to United States. And that's when my true journey started.
Yeah. So tell me more. You moved here. Where did you move to?
Straight to Las Vegas. So
Okay,
I'm
which is
in
where
Las
you are
Vegas.
now.
Yes.
So you've been here the whole time in Vegas?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. That's unusual, I think, for people. Well, did you stay with that person?
No, we are divorced.
Okay. But you were with them for a long time. You got married, etc.
Yes.
So you had anchors and roots in Las Vegas. And then even though the relationship ended, you're there.
So when I moved here, this is the different person. A few days ago, my client texted me that she's falling down in anxiety and stress, and she doesn't know which way to go. And she said something very positive about me. And I told her, I was in your shoes. 20 years ago, you will never come to me. I was anxious, I was stressed, I was jealous, I was pulled in 10 different directions. I didn't sleep well. I was worse than you are right now. And that's why I said, when I moved here, that's without me knowing that my transformation was in the making, because the relationship was extremely abusive, emotionally abusive. I wasn't hurt physically, although there were attempts to hurt me physically. And I found myself, that was the one moment I was sitting in a closet in a corner under my clothes, and I was crying. And I said, why am I here? I had such a good life in Poland. At least that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Why am I here? What is my life purpose? What is my path? How can I get up tomorrow? And I remember that evening in a closet because I felt like I have no way out, like I'm cornered.
Yeah.
And again, I was a different person. How can I go back to Poland and tell everyone that I failed, that my marriage is a disaster, that we don't have any money, and I sold my business? My mom happily spent everything I left in Poland. I didn't even have money to fly back.
Mm.
And in my mind, at the time, I have this pride I don't have today. How can I come to my friends and tell them that I failed and
Yep.
every level? And I cried. And actually, that was the turning point in my life, because somehow I activated the heart desire or energy around. And few months after, my Reiki master and my mentor, who was a remarkable mentor for me, show up in my house in Las Vegas for Thanksgiving dinner. And I got chills when I say this right now. And all of it started that transformation towards who I am today.
Amazing. Amazing. So I can imagine you sitting in that closet and like recognizing and, being intuitive, right? Intuiting for yourself, like this has to change. It's going to change. It's changing already, even as I sit here thinking about it. But the process between that point and Thanksgiving was some time, and things kept going. So tell me about some of the steps that you took when that person came to your home and you recognized that that was the next step on this transformation that you were already on. Like, what happened next?
So I actually, when I was so successful, I shut down successfully too my intuition and my hearing. So when I found myself crying, that's when I realized I have to connect to something deeper within me. And I start opening. The also interesting part is at that time, I didn't speak English. So I couldn't make even friends here. And I was like, what am I doing here? So I started to working on myself to just focus on me. What do I feel every single day? What do I like? And was nothing really massively moving forward. When she showed up, she came to the house and I felt, because I was asking to connect with myself, I felt that peace from her. It's like an oasis of peace, walking to the house full of people who are constantly talking and who is louder, who is more successful, who is better. And then she walks in without any words. And I got chills and I was like, I don't know what she does. I want to do it. And she actually gave me the first books to read. And she started to give me mental exercises. And says like, you have to sit down. And the first exercise was sit down for 3 minutes, 3 times a day, and just count in your mind with open eyes. That was my first exercise, to just bring myself into peace versus being this bungle of stress and anxiety and filled with self-doubt and chaos.
Yeah. I love that. A lot of people who are not, who have a hard time with that calming and centering will say like 3 minutes seems easy, but it's so hard to, whether it's being quiet or, and people think that meditation means you don't have thoughts and all that. And, there's a lot to talk about related to that, but 3 minutes, it's only this many, but it feels like a long time when you're constantly in mental chaos, right? I love that she saw that you needed to start as small as you could start in order to start.
But 2 minutes goes faster. So I always tell my clients now, at the time there was no cell phones. Let's remember the time when there
Yeah,
was
I
no
do.
cell. Actually, no, there were cell phones, but they were these huge, expensive ones.
Yep.
But there was no email yet. But she said, just put a clock for 3. And because you have open eyes and you're counting and you can count out loud, it actually goes fast.
Yeah,
It
okay.
was
I
a
can see
very
that.
interesting exercise that actually led, for me, it led to me beginning to sleep
Mm.
better.
Well, your whole nervous system was a mess before that. Yeah, I can imagine.
That's
So,
correct.
okay, so she was the first person to introduce, she was a Reiki master. She was the first person to introduce you to kind of what became your future. So you made this bold decision to talk to her, to engage with what she had to offer, and to move in that direction. So tell us the rest of the story.
You are exactly right. That was a bold decision because at the time, 1 minute to call to Poland was $1.05. So it was really horrible to call. Later on, I found the Mexican calling cards. They were cheaper. So yes, she gave me books and she was giving me exercises, and I always felt more peaceful after her guidance. So she's not only was my Reiki master and teacher, she was one of the best coach I've ever had. She was a psychiatrist who quit her practice. So
Mm,
she has a training in mind. And she was also utilizing hypnosis on me once a while when we need to really go deeper and heal the guilt and shame and all the hiding elements from childhood.
yeah.
So I follow her guidance, and I started to work on myself. She taught me also stop being a victim. Anytime I would call her and cry and complain, oh my gosh, he called me this name and he did this, she will say, okay, I am so sorry, but you're gonna stop this.
Yeah.
You
Like it's
going
the
to
whole feel your feelings and move on.
Yes, she taught
Mhm.
me that. I transitioned from her to courses. I did some courses with Doreen Virtue, Brian Weiss. So I was always interested in it. The thing is, when I finally was able to go back to Poland and train Reiki, I just totally fell in love with this modality. Finally, I felt like I'm home with feeling the energies again. Everything has energy. She also made me aware how important words are. So
Mhm.
this was interesting too. I got friends and we will meet. And like friends, we like to bitch about things in life. Okay.
Mhm.
She said, you're gonna stop this now. There is no more complaining. When you complain, you attract the same bad thing to yourself and all your friends. So when I divorced, my friends were surprised because I used the meeting with them to have fun, to have a different
Yeah.
feeling
So
than I
you
had
didn't
at home.
complain, so they didn't know how bad it was and that you had that on your future.
Exactly. But I build that's I was functioning, I got the strength here and I can sustain that. And initially I wasn't planning that this is gonna end to divorce. I wanna help my ex-husband and heal him and do lots of things for him, but at the end it didn't work.
Yeah.
So the best way was to leave.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we've all heard the phrases that you can't heal other people, like they have to be ready themselves. And he wasn't ready. That's unfortunate.
I tried for
But we
six
do what
years.
we can for 6 years. Wow, that's a long time to struggle with that duality for sure. So okay, so now you you are the like you didn't know what she did, but you wanted to do what she does, and now you do what she did.
And even more because she was using hypnosis only as a help side tool. I
Mhm.
mainly use hypnotherapy in my
Okay.
practice. Now I'm transferring more and more towards the energy as I'm getting more and more connected. Their energies are so beautiful. Some of them have power to remove certain um, patterns from us almost instantaneously. So I'm continuously asking, give us those tools, give us those
Yeah,
tools.
beautiful.
So
So
yes.
talk about how, so tell us about the business part of it. So you're working with who and how exactly are you serving those clients?
So I am working with intuitives, empaths, and everyone who is energy sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
The truth is, I work with everyone I feel I can help them. But this is my ideal client, someone who's already very sensitive, who has the nervous system shut down, who can sense the room when they walk into the room, and then they feel like something is wrong with me. No, it's not. You just sense the room. Has nothing to do with you. So,
or that you sense the misalignment, right? That the room energy is different than your energy, not better or worse, just different, right?
yes, exactly. I help entrepreneurs. Very often, entrepreneurs are very sensitive to stop people pleasing, overgiving. So they trust themselves and choose themselves first.
Yeah.
And time goes fast. This is already 15 years working with subconscious reprogramming, and with energy, it's 26th year
Wow.
working
Awesome.
with energy.
Yeah, that's a long time. Did you, like, when you were a CPA, would you ever have thought that this is the shift that you would have made for the rest of
No,
your life?
no, I never thought that. I was successful CPA. So in my mind, there was like, this is what I'm going to be doing. And when I want to go to school in United States, I was looking for CPA trainings.
Sure.
Uh, I wasn't able to do it. So I went to first English classes, then hypnotherapy college, and energy work was constantly parallel with it.
Yeah.
I love what I do. I don't see this as work. I see this as passion, as fulfillment. Seeing someone who feels more empowered to start doing their classes and changing their life, communicate clearly. It's my drug.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. And I'm looking at your sign and it says confidence, soul alignment. And, I'm thinking about the folks, because I work with a lot of people who need to grow their confidence, and not that I do what you do, but in the world of doing events and speaking opportunities, and even with the podcast, bringing people on to tell their story, it builds your confidence, right? But when that's from actions versus like something more deep inside, ultimately that alignment is really the base of all of it. If you can decide and realize what's right for you, then the confidence is there.
That's the best gift we can give ourselves. With every person who comes to me, I'm focusing upon connecting them with their intuitive guidance.
Mm-hmm.
And that guidance is good for that one person. Our guidance is not good for our spouse or friend or child. They have their own guidance.
Yep.
But trusting that voice that often says something completely opposite than we planned.
Right. Then we planned. Exactly.
But it always brings us positive result.
Yeah. I
Always.
totally.
Doesn't matter how scary it is. I suck it up, move forward,
Be
because
bold.
guidance always has your goodness, your happiness, your peace in mind.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love that. All right, my friend, I know I have all of your links and your information on how people can reach you. Tell us, like, this is a podcast, so it's going to be who knows how long out there in the internet, but you're doing hypnotherapy, you're doing energy work. Tell us how you want people to remember that you can serve them so that they're going to want to reach out and contact you. Like, wrap it up for us.
I will say, don't wait. Quick story. One client came to me. I took a notes. She decided not to work with me. 2 years later, she came back. I'm taking the notes and I'm realizing she is saying the same things. When I flip the screen and show her, she right away start working. Don't wait.
Don't wait.
Because time is only one thing we cannot regain. If you're suffering, if you're dreaming about something bigger, if you feel overwhelmed, you feel people don't see you, don't hear you, don't respect you, reach out. We can flip this and change this. And now I also have a free masterclass, how to stop putting yourself last and start saying no without guilt. So you can see how this feels, and then we can progress forward. But don't wait. You are worthy of reaching for your goals and be happy.
My friend, this is why we are here together. I love how you put everything. It's so beautiful and so passionate and so true. Do not wait. Take action, be bold, and go after your dreams. The end. Like, full stop. Don't wait. Beautiful.
Be bold, because ready is not a feeling.
Yeah.
If we're waiting to be ready, it's never going to come. We're going to feel ready after we take the action.
Yep.
So be bold.
Action makes you ready. So you have to take action before you're ready, before you feel like you're ready. Yeah, I love it. Anna, I am so thrilled to get to hear your story. Thank you for sharing your whole story. I didn't know any of those things. So I'm really glad to have heard it. I know our listeners are glad to have heard it. And just the energy that you put out. I get to be looking at your face right now while we're doing this. Anyone who's watching on YouTube or on a video podcast, I guess those are a thing now. We'll get to see your energy visually as well. But I know whoever hears your words is going to be inspired to just recognize that they get to decide what's next for them. And when they need support, to contact you or someone who does your type of thing. Yeah, beautiful.
Exactly. Thank you, Tracie, for having me as a guest. This was wonderful. I love your community. I love your boldness. And thank you. Thank you.
Same here, my friend. Thank you again. And we will talk to you again super soon. And I will get to see you soon too.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you for listening to the Bold and Brilliant podcast. I'm your host, Tracie Root, and I want to invite you to check out the show notes, find out where you can connect with our guests, find out more about what I and the Gather community have to offer you, and be sure to subscribe to this podcast on your favorite platform. Thanks so much.